How you going, guys? Okay, so this week I've had a request from somebody that I go to uni with, and she wanted some cupcakes, some red velvet cupcakes. So what I've got today is that recipe on how to make red velvet cupcakes, finished off with a nice cream cheese icing. First time I made them, first time I've ever had red velvet cupcakes, and I really like them, so I hope you guys too. Feel free to ask any questions, and I hope you enjoy.
Before we actually start baking, we need to prepare one of the ingredients. The recipe calls for 1 cup of buttermilk. Now, I was unable to find buttermilk in my supermarket, so I've got a substitute. So we're going to get 1 cup of just plain milk, and into this milk we're going to stick in the juice of 1 lemon. You can also use a tablespoon of vinegar also. We're just going to let this sit for about 10 minutes, and by the time we get ready with the rest of our other ingredients, this will be ready to go. Right, time to get our bake on. So what we're going to start with is a large bowl. Into this bowl we're going to stick in 120 grams of softened butter, or butter at room temperature, and then we're going to stick in 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. So put this in, get our mixer and just beat it until it's nice and fluffy. And once we're at this stage, we're going to stick in 2 eggs, one at a time. So stick one in, beat it, make sure it's well incorporated, and then stick the other one in and beat it also. If you put them all in at the same time, you run the risk of everything separating. But this is what we're after, a nice smooth mixture, a nice light and fluffy mixture. In a slightly smaller bowl, we're going to add in our cocoa, so 5 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and just sift it in so there's no lumps. And to this we're going to add 6 tablespoons of red food colouring. We want a nice thick paste, so we can stick this back into our other mixture of butter and sugar and eggs. Now bear in mind this recipe does make 24 cupcakes, so you can either half it if you want 12, or stay with the full amount if you want 24 to share with your family and friends. Rightio, now that we have our food colouring paste in our butter and our eggs, grab our beater and beat it in, and you should get this really nice deep red colour forming. So once it's all well incorporated, make sure you get all the stuff off the bottom of your bowl. We can stick in our milk, or our buttermilk, or in this case our milk and that lemon juice that we've had sitting for a while. Now stick half of it in with our beater, mix it around until it's also well incorporated, and then stick the other half of the milk in. And once again, make sure everything, all the sides are scraped down until you get this nice smooth consistency. Now it's flour time, so we're going to stick in our 2 cups of flour. Once again, stick it in a cup at a time, just so you not left with a huge clump of flour to mix in. So just fold your flour in. You can lightly mix it with your beater. Don't mix it too much, otherwise we're not going to have that really nice and fluffy cupcake at the end. So once our flour is well incorporated, we're going to stick in 1 teaspoon of salt, followed by 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Just to finish things off, mix it all in, and here's your batter ready to stick into your cupcake tins. Now we can just line our cupcake tin with cupcake liners, and you grab a tablespoon of your batter, of your cupcake batter, and just carefully spoon it into your awaiting cupcakes. You want to fill them up around halfway or 3/4 of the way. Don't overfill them, otherwise you're not going to get that nice petite sort of cupcake shape. Whack these into the oven at 180 degrees for around 20 minutes. Mine cooked a little bit faster at around 15 to 18 minutes, so just keep an eye on them. You guys know the tests, so if you think they're ready, grab either a toothpick or a knife, slide it delicately into the top, and then pull it out. If it comes out clean, then your cupcakes are ready. If it comes out with a little bit of wet batter still on it, stick in there for another couple of minutes and check it again. Once you've done this, let them cool completely before we start moving on to our icing stage. Now that our cupcakes are nice and cool, we can now move on to the old icing phase. Now what I've got for the cream cheese icing is 225 grams of softened butter cut up into cubes in my bowl. And all we're going to do is stick in 200 grams of cream cheese, also cut up into cubes. Mix it on high on a blender, careful not to shoot it out everywhere. Nice and delicately until you get a nice creamy consistency. And all we're going to do is stick in our confectionery sugar or icing sugar, whatever you want to call it. Now the recipe calls for around 4.5 cups of icing sugar, so stick this in a bit at a time with our mixer and just mix it until it's nice. You should get this really nice thick, almost creamy icing. Just to finish things off, we're going to stick in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract with the final mix, and we can stick this into a piping bag and then pipe our icing into pretty patterns if you want, or you can just smooth it off with a knife. Now I've decided to go with a piping bag. Like I said, you don't have to do anything like that, you can just knife it, but a nice presentation never goes astray. So here you are, Red Velvet Cupcakes. The final taste test went down a treat. I was really happy with my first experience of Red Velvet Cupcake. I really thought the icing was perfect pair for the red velvet colour, and obviously the taste. There was no muffins left out of 24 cupcakes, so I believe they went down a treat. I hope you guys enjoy them. Until next week, I've got a video on how to make guacamole coming up, so tune in for that one. But I hope you enjoy this, and have a good day.